So you think you can dance? Tune in to hear how you can audition for the CPHS Celebrities this spring.
T-Wolf's on the trail. Student council elections are right around the corner. Find out how you can get involved.
Tune in to get the scoop on the top of things you need to know for today with Kason Johnson.
Plus an all-new pack chat. Turn it up because the Wolfcast starts now. Good morning, Cedar Park High School. I'm Ella Neal, and I'm joined this morning by Abby Martinez and Luke Johnson. So this morning on the show, guys, we have a story about dance auditions, which, I guess now the spring semester is a great time to start thinking about next year.
Yeah. Looking at course selections for next year, a little stressful because we still don't know how it's going to be, but
yeah, definitely. I feel like me and Luke could say the same about college.
Yeah.
We're just running through the options right now.
Yeah. But for people that are here, February is the best month for any aspiring dancers in Cedar Park to get a shot to show off their talents. Throughout the whole month, dance team directors Nikki Evans and Jordan Lefevers will be holding auditions for CP's brand new dance team.
The up-and-coming dance team being introduced to CP is called the Luminaries, and they are holding auditions for dancers in any grade. Here are all the details any potential future members can keep in mind. Dance auditions are nothing new to Cedar Park, but since many safety protocols had to be taken, half of the auditions will be held virtually over Zoom. Contrary to celebrity auditions, the criteria for the Luminaries will be less advanced and less technique-based.
And where the criteria kind of differs is we're looking for those dancers who are kind of have little experience to a couple more years of experience, kind of our beginner to intermediate dancers. Luminaries will be doing more of just performance-based things, so we won't really be doing the basic drill team, high kicks, football season kind of stuff. So that's another kind of place that it'll differ a little bit. So it's just not going to be as rigorous as what we're looking for with women.
Even though it won't be as rigorous as being a celebrity, dance director Nikki Evans still expects anyone who is accepted to expect a lot of hard work and motivation. She is also hoping that the team will involve themselves in other clubs and communities so that they can learn to become better performers.
Especially with Luminaries, we're really going to try to work with our other programs here on campus so that these dancers within Luminaries are able to do theater or choir or be a part of other clubs and organizations, and not be so committed in the time that is required for celebrities. So I just say a lot of hard work and a lot of fun, and yeah, it'd be great.
Of course, not everyone who auditions will be accepted, but Ms. Evans encourages students to see that as a growing opportunity and that there is still a chance for improvement.
To put yourself out on the floor and give it your all and receive critiques and feedback in order to grow and become better is always a strength. So we would say definitely get with us. We'll talk to you, give you some specific feedback about, maybe where you're falling a little bit short and give you some good feedback about the things you did well. And then we'll welcome you back the next year for another audition.
Again, dancers in any grade can sign up and audition to become a luminary.
Best of luck at the auditions to anyone trying out, and remember that even if you don't get accepted, there's always next year.
are you interested in getting more involved within the CPHS community? How about working alongside fellow students to ensure inclusivity? Student Council is currently entering election season, and class president positions are open to all who are interested in running. The club is also currently participating in its 3rd annual anti-bullying seminar, and students are coming together to ensure Cedar Park remains inclusive and caring.
This, I believe, is the 3rd year we have done what we call the anti-bullying seminar. And this year we're using a lot more of the Anti-Defamation League's resources. And then, of course, we're still going to do the elections. So election season is coming up. So if you are interested, go ahead and reach out to me and I will get you the necessary information, or you can reach out to a student council member.
Up next, Kason Johnson has got our top 3 things. Kason?
Thanks, Luke. First up, yesterday was Groundhog Day, and what did Phil see? Since the inception of Groundhog Day, winter has been predicted 104, now 105 times. Though this event year wasn't nearly as light, gosh dang it, well, now we got the
Don't worry, we got it. You take it slow. You don't have
I know, but it sounds better.
Okay, in 3, 2.
Thanks, Luke. First up, yesterday was Groundhog Day, and what did Phil see? Since the inception of Groundhog Day, winter has been predicted 104, now 105 times. Though this year the event wasn't nearly as lively as in years past, millions of viewers tuned in on the Weather Channel to find out the season's fate. Next, today the Golden Globes have announced their nominations. All the best of what we've been watching from our couches in quarantine. Dynamic comedy duo Tina Fey and Amy Poehler will be hosting the Globes for the 4th time. Among the nominations are The Crown, Killing Eve, Queen's Gambit, along with Hamilton, Emma, and many more. Be sure to catch the Golden Globes on February 28th to find out who will go home with the win. And lastly, KFC has introduced us to, of all things, a gaming console. The console resembles a bucket of chicken. While gaming, you can enjoy some finger-looking good chicken with a built-in chicken chamber. Instead of having a heating suppressor system, this console harnesses that heat to make the KF console a chicken heater. KFC has entered the ring with this gaming revolution. Xbox and PlayStation may be great gaming consoles, but can they heat chicken?
Thanks, Kason. So yesterday was Groundhog Day. Heard he saw his shadow, so it looks like 6 more weeks of winter.
That's what that means?
But I feel like it's been getting a little hot lately, so
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I would have thought this year of all years we would maybe not see a shadow, but yeah, I think it's funny, especially this year we really could have used that win. You know what I'm saying? So thanks a lot, Groundhog.
That's all we have for you today, but stay tuned for an all-new Pack Chat.
Make sure you're keeping up with all of our content, so head over to our YouTube at CPHS News.
You can also follow at CPHS_sports for more sports content.
check out the Wolfcast on Friday for a story over Black History Month, the top 3 things, and an all-new sports report.
Thanks for taking time to join us this morning.
With CPHS News, I'm Luke Johnson.
I'm Abby Martinez.
And I'm Ella Neal. Remember to make it a great day or not, the choice is yours. Back to the Pack Chat, our student voice opinion segment. I'm joined today by my co-host Victor Martinez, Sam Mack, and our guest co-host Katie Whitmarsh as we discuss this week's most trendy topics. Yesterday, we posted some polls on our Instagram story at CPHS News to get your thoughts on our topics beforehand so we can bring them up in our discussion. So thank you to everyone who responded. With that being said, let's get started. First, the Texas Education Agency is requiring all Texas students to take the STARR test this spring in person. Last spring, the tests were canceled due to COVID, but last week it was announced the tests are required this year. There have been several calls from parents and teachers to repeal this, but the TEA says the test will resume. Many are upset mainly due to the mandatory in-person rule. So, I mean, what do you guys think about this, and like kind of what do you think that means for kind of like the year that we've had? You know, the majority of students in Texas have, you know, been in online school, and, you know, a lot of people are concerned for their safety. So what do you guys think about this?
Yeah, you can go first.
Okay, sure. So I think, yeah, like from like a health standpoint and from a school standpoint, it's just like not a reasonable expectation to have kids go in person to take a STARR test right now, especially something that like for some grades could like determine like if they like advance or like to the next grade or not. Like we, for example, like in a lot of our like online classes and everything, like in a lot of our tests, like we are expected to be able to like use our like notes and stuff like that just because we're like in a home setting and it's like difficult to really monitor like whether or not like what resources we are and aren't using. So like a lot of tests that we've taken have just had that expectation that we're going to like use our notes like that we've like taken in class in order to take the test, and that's not going to be available on a test like the STARR test. So it's just we've had a different learning environment, and to have a whole different environment just for that test doesn't make a lot of sense. When we asked on our poll if the students thought it was fair, 11% said it was fair and 89% said it wasn't, which I thought was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
I definitely think it's interesting because like of all years to have a STARR test, this is the year. And I know last year no student likes the STARR test. Like I don't know very many people that like standardized tests. So when they were canceled last year, I mean, I know personally that's one thing I didn't have to worry about. But of all years to have it, I definitely don't think this is the year. And to make it mandatory to go in person definitely is not the move.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sam, what do you think?
I agree. I think this is way too important of a test just to throw on kids this year, especially not being in school. It doesn't really make sense to me because it's not really an easy test. It's like it's a ton of questions, and it's a test that they're not gonna be like used to because they haven't done one like it all year.
Definitely. Next, a Reddit attack on Wall Street has several hedge fund owners upset. Last week, mass amounts of people decided to invest money in AMC, GameStop, and Bed Bath & Beyond, raising the value of those almost bankrupt companies, which several hedge fund companies had bet against in which costed them billions of dollars. In retaliation, several online brokerage firms halted the sale of these companies, which has led to many open lawsuits into why and also the legality in closing an open market. What do you guys think about this? I don't know if you guys saw this all over the internet. It was a pretty big deal last week. These people on Reddit, they decided that they were going to invest their money mainly into GameStop, which was a pretty much bankrupt company. And so, for all these billionaires who had, bet against it, they didn't think anyone would ever invest their money into it ever again. I mean, they lost a ton of money, but while the normal Americans, the middle class Americans, they made a ton of money. And so, it's kind of the question of where, can you close this open market? Can they legally stop the sales of these stocks?
I don't agree with what Robinhood did at all.
Mhm.
Like, I don't believe a company should be able just to be like, no, even though you bought these shares, they're just gone. Like, sorry, you just don't have them anymore. I don't believe that that's right because that's money that they invested, and I think that the lawsuits are necessary. Because that's just messed up to do to people.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like it's a move that just shows that they care much more about the protecting the hedge funds than they do for like protecting the money of the people. Which I mean, that's what they should be focusing on. That's the whole purpose of the stock market. In the poll that we asked how sorry we should feel for the hedge fund companies, and 9% of people said they don't deserve it. 91% said they had it coming. So
Yeah.
also pretty swayed results. I think it's interesting that you kind of see people of all different like political backgrounds kind of coming together on this one issue and agreeing on it. I thought that was genuinely so interesting.
Yeah, I saw AOC, she tweeted something and Ted Cruz tweeted her back and said, I fully agree. And it was about how, that you can't do that. You can't just halt the sales of stocks because your company is losing money.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of, that's not an open market then.
Mm-hmm.
And last, Kylie Jenner is under fire after disobeying COVID laws in LA and throwing her daughter Stormy a birthday party. Los Angeles COVID cases have passed 1 million, and it is suggested to quarantine following traveling, which Kylie also did not do. The party was smaller than previous years, but was still in and outside without masks. So what do you guys think about this? And how do you think, more importantly, the question that I kind of want to be answered is, how do you guys think celebrities have handled this pandemic? How do you think, as people with huge privilege, they obviously have way more money than the average American, how do you think that they've handled this pandemic?
I think that some have actually handled it well and they've been in quarantine, but I also think there's definitely other ones that know that they can do what they want, really. Like they can have these parties and some people will be mad, but then a couple weeks later it should be forgotten. It's because they're just that big famous. But I think it's kind of split 50-50 of some doing a good job quarantining and then others not doing such a good job.
Yeah, I agree. Especially at the beginning. I remember at the very beginning of the pandemic, celebrities were making such a big deal out of look, I'm in quarantine, look, wear a mask, blah, blah, blah. And then now a lot of those same celebrities and influencers and everything are just kind of throwing these parties and having these super spreader events. And it's just I feel like these types of people, when you're a celebrity, when you have that kind of enormous platform, there should be some expectation for you to realize that you are a role model to a lot of people and that you are what a lot of people are going to model their behavior after. And if you're out doing stuff like this, you're just going to contribute to a bunch of other people following in your footsteps and just overall making the pandemic worse. So
No, and I do agree. I like what both of y'all had to say. interesting because it's people that have a lot of money and a lot of followers, and like they can put themselves out there and the whole world will see what they're doing. So for them to just openly disobey laws that have been in place for a reason to keep people safe, it's just interesting. And I like what Sam had to say about like how this will be like the big thing today, but like tomorrow something else will happen. And because they have all of this fame and money, like it'll just be brushed underneath the carpet and not very many people will, keep the story going, which I think would be important because I know all of us want this to be over, but we have to all follow the rules for that to happen.
Yeah, that's a really good point. That's all we have for today. And remember to Wolfpack, there's always time to chat.